Now, we've been talking a lot about players with saying this. Mike Milbury on a broadcast saying this. Oscar DeLaHoya is making a comeback, Martine. 47 years old. Has not fought since in 12 years. Now, the footage that we're showing you is when he was in the heyday. And he was one of the all-time greats.
Right.
Hasn't fought in 12 years. He said this is not an exhibition. He's getting himself in shape, and he really believes that he can compete. Dana White and Oscar DeLaHoya have not seen eye to eye, Martine, because this man here, the fighter turned promoter, has promoted certain events, dabbled in UFC, but really he's with boxing. So after the UFC fight card on Saturday night, Dana White was asked, hey, what do you think about Oscar DeLaHoya making a comeback? And he said, he needs cocaine. It's expensive. Now,
cocaine ain't cheap.
Cocaine ain't cheap. Thank you very much. To quote Dana White.
Yeah, I'm quoting. I wasn't telling you.
No, that's good. No, I know. I understand. How come Dana White can get away with saying anything that is on his mind? And at times, it's controversial. He rips into certain people, and he can get away with it. And fighters and players cannot. Do you have a problem with him? Does he know for a fact that Oscar DeLaHoya did have a cocaine problem?
Right.
He says he's clean now. Was that right? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, Rock, it's trash talk. Go ahead.
Take away the 2 picks. Miami didn't do it terrible. Take away the two picks.
Yeah, well, it's easy to say that, though, Tony. You know what I mean? I mean, Fitzpatrick's been around long enough. Tony, he is so strange. He can be so good, and then he just can be so bad.
Yeah, 3 picks, by the way. 3 picks.
I know, but when he's good, he's pretty good.
I know. All right, anything else, Tony?
No, that was it, man. I just wanted to follow up with you guys.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate it.
Very good. All right, so Cam Newton, I was surprised, Martine, honestly. He basically, Josh McDaniels was calling these zone reads. Right. And remember how Cam Newton, when he was doing that podcast,
gonna open up that playbook, huh?
Oh, he's going to be able to do things that he hasn't been able to do with Brady. We were like, oh my God, you're dissing already the legend. But you know what? He was right.
Oh no, you're absolutely right. It's a different offense, right?
Whatever problem people are dealing with when they call out the race issue, whether you call someone black boy or a white woman, it compounds the problem, whatever the initial problem was, and just makes things so much worse. Now you've got another whole area of disagreement.
All right, Jackie. And, thank you for your call.
Hey, you guys are doing a great job. I just wanted to tell you that.
Thank you, Jackie.
That.
Appreciate that.
Look, it's different. Martine, you've been playing in football. It's different what is said in a game, even in a playoff game, compared to like in an office.
Oh, no,
walking
question.
around. I'm not going to the supermarket, and you know what I mean? Or somebody calls me, hey, white boy. Like, no, but after a shot like that, and he had called me a flopper, and he's going back, B.A. white boy. You know what I'm saying?
But why not call him an a-hole? Why not call him a son of you, whatever? Call him whatever you want. Don't bring the color into it. That's what I'm saying. If a white guy can't bring the color in when he's talking to or trash talking a black guy, because if that happens, that's going to be magnified, right? I'm thinking if it would have been the opposite way, it would have been every station.
Oh, it would have been magnified. It would have been unbelievable.
Right.
It would have been much different.
The black guy should be held accountable for calling the white guy the same thing, even though it may not mean the same and not be as strong. And I understand if you say black boy, it comes back to slavery.
Yes,
I understand that. But we're trying to move forward and unite our country, make us all the same. So if we have to hold one side accountable, we should be able to hold the other side accountable.
All right, let's go to New York, and Frank has been holding on. Thank you very much, Frank. What say you?
Good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing today?
We're good, Frank.
Good morning, Frank.
I got to tell you, I totally agree with you guys. I think that, listen, the problem is consistency with punishment. I mean, you can't have, certain people come down hard on what they say. If you're going to do that, you also have to do it to other people that say it, and then some get a slap on the hand. I mean, I believe I said it last week about LaShawn Jackson and Tom Brennan, and it's just that they're not consistent on what they're doing. They must always be consistent. If you're going to call it out, then call it out.
Do you think so? Do you think in this case, should he be fined? Should he have to sit a game or no?
Blackballed. Because we could say the same thing with Tim Tebow. Was he blackballed out of the league? Or was he just nobody wanted that much of a distraction for a backup? That's really what it is. I don't know if Roger Goodell.
But see, at least Tebow didn't have the track record. I know he had the touchdown pass against the Pittsburgh Steelers to lead the Denver Broncos, but really, if you look at Tebow's NFL career compared to Kaepernick did have success early on, and he did play. He took them to the Super Bowl.
But he was on the bench
Tebow,
when he started kneeling, so his career on the field was deteriorating. It wasn't that he was getting better. So what I'm saying, what I think I'm saying, Rock, is when you have a backup that is more popular and has baggage, you don't want that. And good or bad, you could say Tebow's baggage was, he was way more popular than pretty much any starter in the NFL.
I'll give you that.
And then with Kaepernick, the attention and the media attention that he was bringing to that team would have been a lot greater than pretty much any quarterback in the NFL. And he wasn't going to be a starter. So there's no team that was willing to put up with that on either side, Tebow or Kaepernick, to be their backup. If it was their starter and one of those two guys can win you a Super Bowl, then you deal with it. But when they're going to be on the bench and they're not going to be really, they can be productive in practice, they could be in the locker room, all that, but they're not going to help you win games unless your starter goes down, then it's not worth all the headaches.
Here's the other thing, too, with Colin Kaepernick. Now, Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio asked around, talking to some agents, and he is reporting that there is not even one NFL team that has called Kaepernick or his agent to even bring him in for a tryout. If this is true, I thought that he might get a shot with one of these teams, maybe Pete Carroll, maybe. I don't think if he hasn't gotten a call to even work out by anybody, I think his career as a quarterback in the NFL is now done. Well, he is not going to get a shot.